Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what's up people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Thursday morning. If you are new to the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. If you are enjoying the content as well, might as well do so. Make sure you go check out the Telegram channel as well. Link in the description to that. I do have my trading setups there, watch list, videos I create as well. So make sure you go check that out if you want to. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets. If you are looking for a broker, feel free to check them out if you want to using the link. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone's doing well. Anus, welcome to the stream as always. Trusty moderator. Leo, I'm here on time. Nice. Good morning. What is up? Hope you're doing good. Casperia, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Hope you are too. David, morning from the damp central London. Oh, I bet it is damp. It's not looking like a good day out today. I mean, where's the sun gone? It was so hot over the past couple of weeks, but now it's like cloudy and raining. It looks like we're in like January or Feb or something. It's not cold though. It's not that cold though. But yeah, it's quite wet. But yeah, I hope you are doing well. So yeah, not many pairs I'm looking at. There's a few pairs that do look good, but they might take some time to set up. We'll go through them today and I'll discuss what I'm looking at, my opinions to do. So I'm still holding dollar Swiss from a couple of weeks ago today. I entered the short a couple of weeks today on Thursday. Still holding this, and you can see this is a very, very choppy market. And it's basically just consolidating. So yeah, I'm going to see what happens with this one. Again, I have banked some partials with this one, so it's a little bit easier to hold because yeah, I have got some profit to show for it, sort of thing. But yeah, it would have been nice if price continued to my TP, but moving sideways. And the USD did hit my TP in the end, so that was kind of helped holding UTCHF because obviously as the USD hit the TP, so it's like if dollar Swiss does pull back against me, it pulls back against me. Thank you so much, David, for subscribing. No hard feelings, but I'm still sitting in the position. We'll see what happens. We've got nasty consolidation. Again, it's kind of 50-50 right now, so we'll see what happens. Dollar's looking a little bit strong. We had a big push to the upside on the DXY, and I said if the DXY does break through this resistance here, I'll probably be shifting my buys from bearish to bullish for the DXY. If you do break through this area here, that'll tell me that, okay, we had a really nice bearish structure, market's creating lower lows and lower highs. Then we had the big break of structure, and it's turning to be a natural break of structure because now the market's printing a higher low and it has printed a higher high. So if we do that, I'll be expecting price to continue probably back to the prior highs up here around 104, 400, 104, 600. So this will tell me a lot of dollar strength, which probably means that my dollar Swiss position will come back and take me out break even. It is what it is, but at the moment, the market is still struggling to break through that resistance. But in the another side of things, Euro USD could be giving us some really nice shorts. If the DXY starts breaking to the upside, I'll be inclined to look for some sells for Euro USD to the downside in similar fashion. Get that next level high, break and retest somewhere. Look for some continuation. So I'm kind of excited for DXY. I think there could be some nice opportunities with the dollar pairs, especially Euro USD. That one looks pretty good. Pound USD maybe as well. That one had a big sell-off. Is anyone looking at any dollar pairs this morning? What's up, Renesses? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Blessing. What is up? Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Great morning from Nottingham. Nice. Been to Nottingham a few times. It's a lovely place in the summer. A little bit gloomy in the winter though. Victor, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I remember you were a regular long time ago. I hope you're doing good. Welcome back. How are you? Anus, what is up? Currently selling Euro USD 1.09195, stop 1.09225. Okay, we'll go take a look at that Euro USD position. Price is quite bearish for Euro, has been since DXY seen some strength. I'm not looking at sales just yet, but possibly next few days maybe. But yeah, we'll take a look at that position. ADS pound USD, we'll take a look too. What's up, Rory? Welcome to the stream. Leo, kindly take a look at pound yen. Of course, we'll take a look at pound yen too. So Euro USD, let's see on the lower time frames what's cooking. So entry 1.09195, 1.09195. So that's around here-ish. Oh, it's basically bang on the money. 1.09225. 09225. That is pretty much around here-ish. Above the high. I'm going to go with there. 228. Close enough. And 1.09096. 09096 is over. Jeez, you're in the lower time frames. What time frame you trade with? 5 minute? Because what's the distance between the entry and the TP? Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, around 10 pips. Very, very small gap. But yeah, price is doing some weird consolidation right now. I mean, I do like the shorts because we have seen some good bearish momentum over the past, well, kind of intra-week bearish momentum and intraday from the past few days. We had a big push back into that same resistance, so it's not a bad place to short at all. But yeah, the market is kind of consolidating. It's a little bit choppy in this area. And I think it's because it's price kind of battling out between this bullish momentum and coming back into a very, very key level of resistance as well. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad place to enter. You're right at the highs. Pretty safe stop loss as well. How come you've gone for a TP at this point here? Is that just like a session low, Asian session low, I would assume maybe? Or London, actually that was 9:30, wasn't it? So kind of London session low. But yeah, right in the lower time frames there. You like a bit of adrenaline. 5 minutes is very, very small for me. But yeah, I mean, if your entry's up there, I mean, it's a very, very good entry because stop loss would be above that. Very minimal stop loss right at the highs there. So entry's in a very, very safe place. Got some wiggle room to play with. But yeah, let's hope price dumps to the downside into your TP. It's not too far away. But yeah, very, 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 very tightly knit. 10 pips. Yeah, and on the 5 minute, yeah, I suspect it's okay. Stops a break even. Yeah, makes sense because you know price is already consolidated, almost. I mean, 75%, maybe 80% on the way to your TP. So you do want to protect yourself in that trade, but not a bad position at all. I mean, I do like the entry. It's very, very high up, right in the area of resistance. But yeah, it's just very, very small for me. 10 pip range. Fair play though. Wouldn't catch me trading that. I don't have I don't have the nerves to trade with that small window. But looking good though. Hopefully we can see that move to the downside. I mean, we've seen some good intra-week bearish momentum. Did have a big push yesterday, obviously was that Euro news maybe? I'm not too sure actually. But yeah, don't we have some Euro news actually? Because I remember yesterday I was reading out we had a lot of Euro news. Let me go double check. And we do have some dollar news later as well, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not sure if it's anything too important. Or I mean, if it's red impact, then yeah, I would say it's important. Yeah, we've already had the Euro news. To be fair, there has been a lot of Euro news, but we've already had it. We do have some dollar news later though, 1:30. But yeah, of course, that's on the lower time frames. I don't think you still be in the trade by 1:30. If you are, that's a big consolidation in the 5 minute. But yeah, we do have some news coming up later for dollar. So anyone looking to trade dollar and some euro as well, inflation rate for Germany at 1 p.m. UK time. So do keep an eye on that. But yeah, not a bad position. Anus. Definitely smaller than I would like it to be, but you know, that's what you do when you're on the lower time frames. You guys are built different. Anyway, pound USD we'll take a look as well. Pound yen, dollar Swiss we'll take a look. to euro pound. I'm good, Hayden. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm good. Good to hear, Victor. Good to hear. Hope you're well. Casper, we could take a look at gold. Yeah, of course, we'll add that to the list. I'm probably looking buys in Euro USD, sell on dollar Swiss, pound NZD buy. Okay. What time frames are you working with, Victor? Also have Euro news all day. Yeah, I think we got even more Euro news tomorrow as well, and maybe Friday too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we got a lot of Euro news this week, interestingly, and there's a lot of just like random countries within Europe. But yeah, I'm gonna go take a look at pound USD. So pound USD had a big dump to the downside yesterday. Was that dollar news? I think it was dollar news. We didn't have pound news yesterday, did we? I don't think we had pound news yesterday. Let me go double check. Yeah, I think it was dollar news because we didn't really have any major pound news. But yeah, on another note, pound USD is looking pretty bearish to the downside. I was actually looking for some buys coming into the week. Obviously didn't get the entry I was looking for. Price came into my area of interest, but completely obliterated that level. So again, that's one of the reasons why I'm always looking for entry confirmations to see rejection, engulfing candlesticks to see momentum as well. And as you can see, price just obliterated that level. So no chance to even look for a long. But yeah, pound USD is looking, overall the market is still pretty bullish. If you're looking at it from a daily, weekly perspective, we've got low, high, low, high. So I'm still kind of bullish on the grand scheme of things, but from a 4H perspective, I think we can probably see a bit more downside for pound USD. We do have some nice areas around here, potentially could give us that next wave to the upside potentially. If I whip out the old Fibonacci, probably coming close into the 0.618 area. So yeah, nice confluence around here. Could be seeing some reactions if the market is going to go up again, maybe around 1.255. So in the meantime, there might be some nice sells to take advantage for pound USD to the downside. There may be some buys later on. As you can see, we failed at the highs there. Now the market's printing some lower highs. We've had this lovely level of broken support. Now turn resistance. We could see the market pull back, retest this area, then look for the next continuation to the downside. So the way I see pound USD right now is I'm still kind of treating this as a bigger correction because based on how the market is moving, the price action here is a lot more impulsive than this price action. This looks very corrective. So I'm still going to be treating that as a correctional move for maybe a potentially bigger move higher. So sales in the meantime look pretty good if you can get a decent pullback. Got a lovely level of broken support over here, which we turn resistance, which again we broke through, haven't got the retest of, so it's still nice and fresh for some shorts. And 1.254 is looking pretty good as well, back into this level here. So yeah, pound USD for me, I'm looking at some short-term sales or medium-term sales, not really short-term to be fair, because if we do get a pullback into that, you're still looking at about 150 pip move, which is a pretty decent move to catch anyway. So yeah, looking at some more downside for pound USD and potentially some buys further up, coming back into some key structures on the daily, 1.255, 1.25. So yeah, that's the plan right now for pound USD as things stand. Pound yen, we'll take a look at next. Gold, USD CHF as well. Euro pound, no problemo. Ash was up. That 4H engulfing is a bit worrying. Which are you talking about? The Euro USD. The 4H engulf on Euro USD is a bit worrying. If I can find Euro, there we are. Yeah, I mean, a little bit to be fair. I mean, Euro USD is a little bit interesting because we've broken through this low here. We created some new lows. Now it looks like the market's trying to create a lower high. Market potentially might be creating a higher low. So Euro USD, the way I see it, is kind of it's kind of consolidating, not really giving us a clear directional bias, at least on the 4H time frame. Scale to the bigger picture, there might be a bit more clarity, but on the 4H time frame, I'm not really seeing too much direction in terms of clear direction, clear setup. So that's why I said I'm kind of waiting to see if price can break to the downside or even break to the upside as well. If it breaks to the upside, then I'll be inclined to look for longs on a retest or something and continue that move to the upside, because this move will tell me that, okay, buyers are back in control. Let's look for corrections and continuations and anticipate the next high low after that. So this will make a lot of sense to me for the buy side of things, and same thing for the sells as well. If the market starts breaking to the downside, clearing out these lows, that tells me, okay, we've broken structure twice now. So once to the downside here, now again to the downside. So now against consecutive lower lows. We're also getting consecutive lower highs as well. Oh, there we go. And now I'm looking for the next pullback for the continuation to the downside. So if we can see that move to the downside or that move to the upside, they both look like they can give really good opportunities. But at the moment, it's not clear. If I jump into some sales now, I don't have enough information to kind of justify it being a good trade, at least in the 4H time frame. So yeah, you're right. That 4H engulfing, it does confuse things a little bit. So my kind of verdict for Euro USD, I'm leaving that one alone until I see a definite move either to the upside or to the downside. Again, as a trade, I'm not too bothered which way we go. We can both buy and sell, so it doesn't really matter. But I just want to see a good opportunity. And at the moment, Euro in the 4 hour is just kind of just consolidating, really. So I'll be waiting for some clarity. What's up, Goki? My mentor. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Any pairs you're looking at? Any markets you're looking to trade or trading anything at the moment? Targeting the Asian low. Okay, yep. Hope we'll take it out. Nice. I mean, that's a common strategy in the lower time frames. Trading within and without the Asian low, like waiting for or Asian high, waiting for price to either manipulate it, fake the high, and then reverse the opposite direction, or trying to trade to take advantage of the fake of the high, the low. I've never traded like that personally, but yeah, it's quite popular amongst the lower time frame traders. Sergio, good morning. What is up? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. Market slow, waiting on US news. Tomorrow's going to be wild, last day of the week, month, and 6 months. Yes, very, very true. Very, very true. Can you check gold for us? Yep, I will take a look at gold, no problem. Euro USD, there was a big momentum towards the upside, still bullish. I think, yeah, intraday, I mean, the 4H time frame could push us on, but like I said, I'm kind of treating Euro USD as consolidation, so I'm not really bullish, I'm not really bearish. And like I said, if the market takes out the high here or takes out the low there, then I'll be a lot more confident in a particular direction in terms of actually trading. But right now, I'm quite neutral. Andreas, what is up? I'm doing good. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are as well. Looking to short Euro Swiss, Euro CAD, or Euro Pound. Okay, quite heavy on the shorts on Euro there. Is that purely based on price action, or is there some fundamental analysis there? But we'll take a look at those pairs. 992 is a bit quiet this morning. Yeah, I would agree. Not really seeing too much movement, to be fair. I think we got some news later, which price might be getting excited for. And then it's going to kind of all come together. But yeah, we're not really seeing too much this morning. Okay, then we go take a look at some pairs before I forget. Pound yen, we'll take a look. Dollar Swiss and gold. Okay, so pound yen. Okay, so it looks like we're starting to break some structure now. As we can see, we had some comfortable higher highs and higher lows. Market has now broken through that trend line and also broken through some lower time frame structure. If I drop to the hourly, as you can see, we had a nice little higher low here. Market pushed to the upside, all looking good, and now the market's obviously gone and broken through that. So with pound yen, the market is still definitely very bullish. Don't get me wrong, the market is still definitely very bullish. If you look at the monthly, the weekly, the daily, all displaying a lot of momentum, even the 4H to an extent as well. So I'm still very bullish in pound yen and not really looking for any selling opportunities. But on the hourly time frame, it does look like we are starting to run out of steam, and we could be looking at possibly a bigger correction. I don't want to say reversal because it's a bit too early to signify if we're going to reverse or not. But the potential is for some more downside for pound yen, maybe to find another higher low and go up at a later date, maybe next week or maybe later this week. But yeah, pound yen for me, since it's broken through structure there might be some intraday sells. For me, that's just a little bit too aggressive. So I'm still kind of only waiting for buy opportunities until I start to see some big break of structures on the 4H time frame. For example, if the 4H can break through this low, that'll tell me, okay, from a 4H perspective, we might be looking at reversing. So that's probably when I'll be a bit more excited for some sells. But like I said, we've broken through some intraday lows, intra-week lows. So I think we could probably see some more downside. But I would definitely get ready because a higher low could pretty much form at any point. You know, this could be a good area to look at for a potential higher low. We might push one more time and then push up again. So keep an eye on 181, 200. Possibly could be a bit TP, but I would say even if you are taking sells in pound yen, you do want to be conservative with your TP because again, higher time frame still displaying a lot of bullish momentum. The chances are you could catch a nice move, but the market could just bounce straight back against you. So when you are taking advantage of opportunities against high time frame trends, you might want to be a bit more conservative with your TP, and then possibly the opposite when you are with the trend. You can be a bit more lenient. But yeah, pound yen for me, since the break of structure, I'm not really seeing a clear-cut level to short from. Maybe if you can snap through these lows, you can probably catch some nice break and retest across that, because this potentially could be the next lower high, which is just printed over here. So we've also got 1, 2, potentially 3. If we can snap through that, that's not a bad level to look to short from. Then you got 181, 200 there, which could prove to be a strong level to send the market back up again. If I whip out the old Fibonacci, it does almost line up with the 0.618, but I would keep an eye on that area, and probably even this area there too as well. But yeah, pound yen, I'm seeing some short-term sells, but it's just a little bit aggressive for me since what the high time frames are doing. I mean, what are you guys looking at for pound yen? It looks like the market's still got some downside left, but yeah, I'm not brave enough to sell pound yen at the moment. Almost most yen pairs, to be honest. But yeah, pound yen and the JPY, we're starting to see the yen pairs take a breather. We're starting to get some bigger pullbacks. Some yen pairs are still pretty strong, like euro. Dollar yen still pretty strong, but pound yen and JPY, AJPY as well, starting to get some signs that the market may take a deeper retracement, but in the grand scheme of things, we are still pretty bullish across them. So even with the sell opportunities, I wouldn't push them too far. Gold in euro, pound, and dollar Swiss we'll take a look at next. Okay, so whereabouts is gold? There we are. So gold still looking pretty bearish, maybe a little bit corrective, starting to run out a bit of steam. But as things stand, we're still printing consecutive lower lows and lower highs. So for me, I'm still expecting more downside here for gold. I would say, I mean, yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Monday, Tuesday, I was looking at the break and retest of this level here. Never quite got the pullback. It's still a possibility, so I will keep an eye on that area there, because we still possibly could get that deeper pullback. Maybe take out some of these weaker lower highs, get a nice little test of that area, then get the next drop to the downside. So 1940 is still definitely an area on my radar, but I'm not too sure if we'll see such a move to the upside. It's quite a big ask from gold. On the smaller time scale, we do have these consecutive lower highs here on the hourly as well, as we can see. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So yesterday I was talking about possibly a nice breaking retest of this area here. Excuse me. And possibly a pullback into 1920. So this could be a nice area to look for some shorts, because again, nice fresh level of support broken through, no retest as well. So we know it's a nice fresh level of resistance, and we've got some weaker lower highs here, which the market's kind of correctly falling. We could go and take out those highs, test the level, get the next lower high in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then get the next drop to the downside. And targets can be as simple as back to the prior low. If you probably drop the lower time frames, 30, 15, you can probably get a nice little 1 to 3 in that area. So it's not a bad opportunity at all. So yeah, for me, gold pretty bearish on. Not interested in buys whatsoever. On the lower time frames, this is looking pretty neat and tidy here. Some shorts around 1920. On the full H time frame, if you guys are looking to trade a little bit higher up, a bit more swing, then 1940 is still giving us some really good characteristics as well. So I'll keep an eye on both of those areas. Both are looking good, but obviously it depends on what the gold wants to do. If it wants to have a big retracement, 1940 could be the area. If it's a little bit more shallow, it might only get to 1920 before we see our next wave. But for me, I'm only still looking for shorts. I'm not interested in longs at all. And for targets, extended targets, we've already kind of hit this area here. We've got this low down here. Ooh, there we go. And we've also got the high over there. And you can see we've broken through that low. Might get the next drop into 19 or 1890. And then we've got the next one down there, 1860. And any one of these levels could prove to be strong and reject gold back up again. But as things stand, we are still pretty bearish across the board on gold. So yeah, looking at downside. And dollar Swiss, someone said they're looking for buys in dollar Swiss. So yeah, I'm currently short in dollar Swiss. So you're going up against me. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of written this trade off, to be fair. The consolidation is just crazy. So whatever happens with this one. But dollar Swiss to me is just basically consolidating. So buys do look good if you can get a nice little breakout to the upside and then continuations higher. Because if I scoot to the daily time frame, you know, price for dollar Swiss is still pretty bullish. So for me, buys are a little bit tad aggressive. So, you know, a breakout to the upside could be, breakout to the upside is probably what you want to be looking for to give you that extra kind of confidence and confluence that price, okay, might actually be seeing some upside now, because higher time frames are still pretty bearish. But if you do get a nice solid break to the upside, then maybe you are going to see a reversal. But buys within this area here, just a little bit too aggressive, and kind of the market's not really moving anywhere as well. So it doesn't make too much sense in my book. But a strong break of the high, break through 0.9, clear out some highs, a retest of, what do we call this, 0.8996 looks pretty good as well. And then possibly some continuations, and you've got some highs there to target too. But yeah, at the moment, dollar Swiss for me is still consolidating, trapped between resistance and support. So we need to see which way price is going to break first. Could still break to the downside, of course, as well. But buys are not a bad idea if we can get the breakout, the consolidation to the upside. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at for dollar Swiss. Euro pound, we'll take a look as well. Euro pound. Okay, we'll go through some euro pairs as well. A bunch of people talking about euro pairs, and obviously Andrea is looking to sell euro CHF, euro CAD, and euro pound as well. CAD CHF, you think shorting CAD CHF at the current market price is a good idea? Okay, we'll take a look at CAD Swiss as well. I mean, I did speak on CAD Swiss yesterday. I was saying it was consolidating, so I'll probably say no, but I'll go take a look at CAD CHF because things might have changed. I haven't really been watching the pair, to be honest. Hayden waiting for a retest on the 50-minute for shorts on dollar Swiss. Thoughts? Break and retest on the 15-minute. What level are you looking at? Because to me, dollar Swiss is looking a little bit chaotic right now. Waiting for the retest on the 50-minute to short entry dollar Swiss. Thoughts? Okay, what? Yeah, well, I'm not too sure which level you're talking about. Maybe this one up here that we've just broken through potentially. I mean, it's not a bad place to short. You're at the top of a range, you know, coming back into this resistance here. So you're at the top of the range. So it does make sense from that aspect. But I'm just not a fan of ranging markets as well. So, you know, when the market is ranging, I try to stay out of the way. Obviously, I did get into this trade before it started to range. So that's kind of my excuse. But yeah, the market's now ranging. So my directional bias, you know, kind of goes back down to 50-50 pretty much. Don't really have too much of an edge in either direction. I mean, higher time frames, I do favor shorts. Like I said, the daily still points to the downside, you know, still giving us lower lows and lower highs. So I would favor sells overall for dollar Swiss. But yeah, trying to short the high of the range or buy the low of the range is never really my forte. But again, it still works. People trade ranges and make money off it. It's just not my type of trading style. So yeah, it's not a bad place to short. It's not a bad place to short close to the range high. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of those type of opportunities. Okay. Pound yen is printing some nice bearish price action too. Yeah, I would agree. Price does look like it's starting to look a little bit bearish for pound yen. I mean, overall, price is still very bullish with pound yen, considering the higher time frames and momentum as well. But it might be time for a bigger retracement. And when I say bigger retracement, I don't necessarily mean like a big drop, like 500 pips. It might just be another 100 pips for pound yen, or maybe not even that as well. So my advice would be, you know, it might be looking bearish right now, but try not to get sucked in too much, because a lot of people will be looking at pound yen and a lot of other yen pairs as well. And when the yen pairs start showing, you know, some signs of weakness, a lot of people are like, okay, yep, it's time for the market to go down, and they start placing so many positions on, just for the market to retrace and go higher. So if you are going to short, it does look good for a short. The market's starting to break some structure, some lower lows and lower highs. But I would still treat that trade like you're taking advantage of a counter trend move and not trying to be too aggressive with your TPs. Dissy, what is up? Welcome to the stream. CAD C Chef, USD CAD. Okay, we'll take a look. Euro Pound, UAD, and Nasdaq analysis. Okay, bunch of pairs to go through. I'm currently short the Euro Pound back to unmitigated demand. Okay, we'll take a look at Euro Pound next. Euro CAD playing nice. What do you think? Okay, yeah, bunch of pairs. USD, we'll take a look as well. No fundamentals, just like the charts. Okay, nice. I mean, I tend to see that as well when I analyze a bunch of pairs correlated. Most of the time, 80% of the time, the bias and the opportunities will be very similar. Like if I'm looking to long Euro USD, 7 times out of 10, there'll probably also be a good buy setup on Pound USD as well. So, if you're looking to short EuroCAD, there might be a short in Euro Pound. I would say EuroCAD and Euro Pound are a little bit different because Euro Pound and EuroCAD are quite correlated. So the market between them comes quite choppy. So Euro Pound is not always the best pair to look for correlation, apart from Euro and Pound, of course. But of course, if the Euro is going to be weak, then those pairs will go down. Blessing, Euro Yen, NAS. Okay, we've had NAS a couple times. We'll take a look at that as well. Tesla pump 150% since January. Oh wow, I did not know that. Business of deals for those who invested. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I did not know 150% since January. Wow, that's crazy. What about Pound Euro? Yeah, I'm gonna look at Euro Pound. I won't look at Pound Euro, but I will look at Euro Pound. Henry was up. Anthony CAD. Okay, we'll take a look. And we'll go through some pairs. Euro Pound. We'll go for Euro Pound, NAS, and we'll go through some other Euro pairs as well, CAD and Swiss. Okay, so a lot of people talking about Euro Pound. Okay, rightly so. It's starting to get a bit of a breakout now. I haven't been a fan of Euro Pound since my trade on it last week. Now, I kind of said the market's kind of consolidating, but I did say yesterday, if we do start snapping through the highs or snapping through the lows, that would interest me. It is starting to interest me, but it's not as big as a breakout as I would have wanted. I want price to really, really push away, really start breaking through the resistance level by some distance before I really look into it for a break and retest myself. So for me, it looks like the market is starting to create higher highs now. So as we can see, we had this bearish structure, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Market broke structure, had a higher high. Then we had a higher low, another higher high. So I wouldn't look for the break and retest on this area here, but possibly if you have a deeper retracement, we could be looking at another higher low and a push up. Because again, we've got this original low here, original low, higher low, possibly could see another higher low. So we might be seeing a very, very slow kind of reversal here. So as you can see, possibly something like this. If I take this away, it's almost like a bowl-shaped pattern, gradually gone from making lower lows to making equal lows to higher lows. So this could be what Euro Pound is kind of doing right now. But I would avoid looking for the break and retest as of yet, because again, the breakout is a little bit shallow, and to be honest, looks like we're breaking back underneath anyway. So yeah, Euro Pound, I would start favoring buys for this one. We are seeing good momentum as well, so that's what I do like to see. I like the momentum. It would be nice if you clear the resistance a little bit further, but nonetheless, we are starting to print some bullish structures. So buys do look good, but I would suggest we might pull back a little bit deeper. As to where, we probably got some areas around here, possibly even our resistance back here as well could be an area to look at. But yeah, I suggest we'll probably have a bigger pullback, 0.86, 859, and then possibly look for the continuation. I would avoid the break and retest of this level yet, unless we push away further. So if we get another break, then yeah, that might become a good level to long from. But at the moment for me, Euro Pound, I'm starting to shift from bearish to bullish now. But I would still avoid the break and retest because it's just a little bit too shallow for my liking. Not that it won't work, it's just that I know in terms of probability, if we get a bigger breakout, the chances are that the higher the chance the market will continue that move and instead of being a fake out. So yeah, Euro Pound, the buys are starting to look interesting for this one. EuroCAD, Euro Swiss will take a look as well. NAS will take a look too. Okay, so EuroCAD. Yeah, EuroCAD, I don't really have too much to say about EuroCAD. We've got some nice resistance above us. The market failed to create some new lows down here. I was looking for price to go and hit that daily support here. Again, it's looking less and less likely by the day. But we're still struggling to break the resistance. Again, there could be some sells here because we do have this bearish structure at play still. We haven't really broken that structure. So there's a possibility we still could, sell off, double top it and continue that bearish move. But again, it lacks confluence as well. Price may head to the downside, but does it have good confluence? Does it meet your plan well? Is it good entry signals at a good location? It's got a good location, but I just don't have anything else going for me apart from that, apart from the resistance level pretty much. So EuroCAD, I would still favor shorts, but yeah, I don't have a lot of confluence there. So I'm not really looking into EuroCAD too much personally, but I'm still overall looking at 1.426. If we break EuroCAD, if we break the resistance for EuroCAD and start pushing up, then maybe we might see some counter trend plays. But yeah, we're a long way away from that break and retest. So that's probably an opportunity maybe for next week if that does happen. But yeah, EuroCAD for me, it's just another market going sideways really. We've got equal lows-ish down here. We've got equal highs. I'm just going to wait to see what happens here. I'm not really seeing any clarity apart from that. There might be some nice sells here, but there's just not enough confidence for me to deem it a very good opportunity. It's just, price that resistance sort of thing. It's in the direction of trend though, so that does have a big tick. But again, needed a bit more confidence to justify entries for myself anyway. Let me know what you guys are looking at for EuroCAD though. You're looking to short, long, waiting for a break and retest, let me know. We'll take a look at NAS and Euro Swiss next. Okay, CAD CHF, we'll take a look as well. NZD CAD short, no problem. Yes, that was the level, but after listening to you, I didn't realize it was consolidation. No worries. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's best to zoom out, look at the bigger picture. I mean, I wouldn't suggest saying that you have to utilize all time frames because, again, if you're in the lower time frames, trading in the direction of the high time frames is beneficial, but sometimes zoom out, look at the bigger picture, sometimes makes things clearer. Not only does it help signify, okay, maybe this trade isn't as good as it seems, but then trades that do look good, it may even make them even look even better because they may have some synchronicity with the higher time frames as well. And just that slight kind of adjustment can help maybe improve the quality of your trades and then improve your win rate as well. So yeah, looking at the not necessarily higher time frames, but just zooming out and see what the market is doing can help that. But yeah, I mean, not to say that it won't work. Price could still obviously fall from that level. It's just I'm not a big fan of consolidation in terms of particularly trading it. But consolidation, price rejects resistance, it rejects support, it does fluctuate. So it's not that price can't reject that level and can't come back down again. It's just that I tend to stay away. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro Swiss, and then we'll take a look at NAS. Okay, so Euro Swiss, yeah, I don't like the pair at all. I mean, I don't mean that. It's not I don't like the pair. I just don't like the market structure at all, really. It's been very, very choppy over the past few days. You can see the market's kind of just being weird, big up, down, very, very corrective, big up move. So it's been a little bit choppy, and rightly so. It is a Swiss pair. But yeah, yesterday I was talking about breaking retest at this level. I said likelihood is we'll probably see a move back into the high here. We didn't quite see that. We did get a nice push, but it didn't manage to clear this wick here on the left, and it kind of reversed quite heavily from that area. So Euro Swiss, the way I see it right now, it's just behaving very, very weird. High time frames, I'm still pretty bearish on Euro Swiss. I'm still looking at a lot more downside for Euro Swiss. We're getting consistent lower highs, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at possibly a fifth one in and around this area, maybe a little bit higher, potentially, but it's not quite clear right now. I mean, I am looking at this level here on the left, lovely level of support. So if you come and retest that would interest me. If you can get some nice breaker structure off that could be a decent little sell up there. around 0.984. But as to what price is doing right here, it's just very, very choppy. It's trying to head lower, but then fake lower, trying to go higher, but it's having a hard time too. And it's kind of just weird price action. So if Euro Swiss can make the move to the upside into 0.986, now we've got a bit more confidence there. We've got that daily level backing and that possible lower high on the daily as well. If I whip out the old trendline tool, you can see we'll probably come and line up quite nicely with that area there too. So if you can get that next push up higher into 0.985, then I can probably make some more. I can probably make some better judgments with the price action with Euro Swiss, because if you push into that area, then start seeing some break of structure, some lower highs, then yeah, shorts after that become a really good opportunity. But right now, this is just a weird kind of bullish move, really. So I would say if you're looking at Euro Swiss, if you're looking for a swing opportunity, keep an eye on 0.986, which we identified in the daily. So a really good area of confidence and a good chance the market could print a lower high in that area. And if it does print a lower high, most likely we'll come back to these lows here. So we've got quite a distance to fill. Don't necessarily have to hold the trade that long, but probably get away with maybe 2-3 positions in that time. But yeah, Euro Swiss looking at shorts on the higher time frames, but right now it's very, very choppy. So hoping we can push higher. Okay, so we'll take a look at NAS next. CAD seat chef. No, take a look at CAD seat chef next, and I'll go to NAS. Okay, UNSD, we'll take a look. Elmi, no problem. Welcome to the stream. Scalpy TFX, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Euro Yen, NAS, okay, yep, we'll take a look as well. NSD CAD, sure, we'll take a look. Yeah, Euro Pound, I just took a look at that one a few pairs ago. If you scroll back 4 or 5 minutes, you probably see it. Pound USD, yeah, I did that one as well, probably like 10 minutes ago. So if you scroll back 10 minutes, you will see that as well. But what is up, Mighty King? Welcome to the stream. You're long Euro Pound currently. I mean, I do like the idea of longs on Euro Pound, but I wouldn't suggest it right now. If you can get a deeper pullback or push further through the zone, then pull back, which I explained earlier. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the longs just yet. Game scenario, oil, we'll take a look, no problem. Give a like to the stream, guys. I appreciate it, HD. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out with the stream. So if you're enjoying it and finding it useful, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell as well so you don't miss any streams or uploads in the future. And yeah, appreciate everyone who has liked the video so far as well. But yeah, we'll take a look at CAD Swiss. Okay, so CAD Swiss, yeah, like I identified earlier, this is just pure consolidation. So I'm not really a fan of CAD seat chef. I understand that you're probably looking at a break and retest of this zone here, which does make sense. Break and retest of 0.67800, we'll call it, is definitely not a bad level to short from. Hence, I mean, since it had a lot of rejections of support, so we can clearly say this support probably will be acting as resistance right now. So it's not a bad short in terms of from that aspect. It's a very, very choppy price action. You're kind of trading within the range of a range sort of thing, because we had a range over here which is in a bigger range. Now we've kind of broken out that range, so you could see a push back down to the low of the range. So it's kind of just like level to level, kind of breakout kind of trading, which is not really my type of style, but it does make sense from a technical aspect. We've broken through one level, where's the next important level? Down here. So that's, technically speaking, that's where you expect price to head towards 0.673 into that next level of support. So from a directional perspective, it does make a lot of sense, but I'm just not a fan of the market conditions right now. I like it when the market's trending, when we've got a lot of steam either to the upside, to the downside, and we've got some clear lower lows and lower highs which I can play with. Right now, we're kind of in an area where possibly we could be looking at reversing, because higher time frames, this is some quality price action to the downside. We potentially could be forming a lower high here to go back down again. And if you do break out the consolidation, then that's when I'll start looking at trades for myself. But right now, I'm kind of just letting price do what it needs to do in this area. And possibly on the lower time frames, there are some shorts back down to 0.673. But for me, I'm going to be holding back. I'm going to be holding back until we at least break through that support level. But yeah, intraday sells do look okay. Okay, I'll take a look at NAS next. USD will take a look. Dollar CAD as well. Let's not forget. Okay, so NAS, what is cooking with NAS? Okay, NAS actually broke structure to the upside. I was not expecting that. I was looking for a bit more downside for this one. Again, we were still treating this as correction, but I was looking for this channel to continue a little bit further first before heading to the upside. I've been talking about NAS for the past couple of weeks about a nice retest of this level and then the continuation. Obviously, the market's not perfect. In the ideal world, you probably saw one more move to the downside and then the push. But it looks like we were getting a breakout a little bit earlier than expected. So with NAS 100, I'm still very, very bullish on this pair. If I drop to the monthly, you can see we have a lot of bullish momentum in the month. In the week, a lot of bullish momentum. In the day, a lot of bullish momentum. So this for me is just a market which is trending to the upside and pretty much all the major time frames, similar to the yen pairs as well. If you do the exact same with pound yen, euro yen, CAD yen, dollar yen, you see the momentum on the higher time frame. So trading in that direction is never going to be a bad idea. But yeah, I was expecting to see one more swing to the downside, retest this level because this level looked good to buy. But yeah, the market didn't quite reach it. So now it's breaking through this level here. The buys are starting to look good on the break and retest. I'm not really a big fan of the shallow break and retest, but the market is clearly holding that resistance, previously, now as support over here. So the way I see it, upside is looking likely. A good opportunity would be as well, if you missed this opportunity, because it looks like the train may have left the station a little bit, is if we do push the upside one more time and then get the retest of this high, which the market has just created. That could be a nice little trade in the 30, 50 minute chart, then take the continuation to the upside, because it looks like we've just had impulse, bull flag, correction. Now we're going to get the next impulse to the upside. And next logical target is back up to 15,200, back into the prior highs on the left. So yeah, the way things look right now, we've broken structure, breaking out the channel. Market's starting to print some higher lows here as well. So if you can get that break of 15,028, simple retest of that area, got some good confidence there, could give you a nice little trade to the upside. 15 minute, 30 minute. Can utilize the lower time frames to maximize your risk reward as well. But yeah, the way things look right now, I'm favoring more upside for US 100. So buys are looking pretty good. Is anyone trading US 100 currently, or just keeping an eye on it? Yeah, USD will take a look as well. I feel like I'm missing out some people's pairs. If I have, just drop it down in the chat again, because I'm trying to read the chat at the same time at the bottom as where I still am. But yeah, so USD will take a look as well. NZD CAD will take a look. Henry, no problem. Oil will take a look as well. Nike, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Good to see you here too. Can you take a look at Euro Swifts? I'm looking at some short from 0.98352. Yeah, I'm not a fan of shorts Euro Swifts just yet. On the daily time frame, there's a nice short higher up, but at the moment, the 4H for me just doesn't look like any really good price action. So I'm staying away. I mean, if the market does drop to the downside and clear this low out here, so let's say it doesn't get to my area on the daily time frame. If it does, there we go. If it does drop to the downside and clear out this low, then the next pullback after that is interesting to me, because at that point we've actually got some bearish structure. We've got the low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So this short would be not a bad opportunity at all. Maybe retesting some structure if you can find some. So that short there would look good, but I would need to see price break through the low first before I identify the shorts. Right now, price could still push to the upside. We're still respecting support on the left here, so bullish structure hasn't really broken yet, and we're still seeing price break through resistance too. So the way I see it for Euro Swiss is that the price action is not very clear, As a result, I'm waiting for a better opportunity to present itself. And like I said on the daily chart over here, this looks like a really good short. We've got some good confidence there on the daily. You've got these lower highs, 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly a fifth one. Also, you got a lovely level of support, which gave us a really big move up and a nice move down. Could possibly do that same thing again as well. So we've got a lot of daily confluence up here for some bigger sells and possibly a big lower high to form. Right now is kind of middle of nowhere for me. So it's either Euro Swiss drops the downside, gets the pullback, and then we short that third lower high, or we push to the daily zone and then look at the breakup structures within that area for some sells. And that's the only time at the moment that I can identify some clear opportunities for Euro Swiss. At the moment, it's looking like a myth to me, so I'm staying away. Euro NZD, we'll take a look. Oil, Euro Yen as well. NZD CAD. USD CAD, I forgot about that one. I will take a look at USD CAD now. Gold, I took a look at gold a few minutes, well, probably about 10 minutes ago. So if you scroll back on the stream, you will see the analysis to gold. CAD CHF daily time frame looks like a big sell, Miko. Yeah, I do agree. I said CAD CHF in the higher time frame. A lot of the CHF pairs look good in the higher time frames. Euro CHF definitely one as well, which we're looking at now. Euro CHF in the daily. If I zoom out as well, even look at the higher time frame, even from a monthly perspective, very comfortable downtrend since 2018 here. So for me, sells are 100% the way to go from a longer term perspective for Euro Swiss. CAD CHF as well. CAD CHF as well, like I said, from longer term perspective, beautiful downtrend. Still looking at more downside as well, but I'm not trying to get in this range here. If we can snap the range to the downside, then pullbacks after that become a lot more attractive. AUD CHF longer term, you can see nice comfy downtrend to the downside as well. NZD CHF, same thing as well, comfortable downtrend there as well. So yeah, the CHF pairs from a high time frame perspective are very, very clear, and makes a lot of sense as well. So I'm just kind of waiting for the full H to line up. Let me catch the shorts accordingly. The only CHF pair which doesn't look that good is pound Swiss. Longer term, there is still a nice downtrend to it, as we can see, but we kind of got this weird consolidation, which is not really what I want to see. There's not a lot of trend about it. So yeah, pound Swiss is the only Swiss pair that's a little bit but the rest, from a higher time frame perspective, look very, very good. Okay, we'll take a look at USD CAD, because I was meant to do that one a while back. So USD CAD we'll take a look at next, and I'll move on to Euro NZD. So USD CAD, last time I saw it was breaking to the upside. Obviously we've seen a bit of dollar strength over the past few hours, and dollar CAD reacted towards that, breaking through this high here. So I've been looking at a retest of this level here, and it looks like that's probably where dollar CAD is off to. So you can probably take advantage of some shorter term long opportunities. Quite funny, short long. Shorter term. I'm trying to find a different word for short. Some smaller. I'm just going to say short term long opportunity. It just contradicts itself. It sounds weird. But yeah, some shorter term long opportunities or buy opportunities for a move to the upside into 1.33. Then possibly could be getting some sales to the downside again on the retest of that level. So yeah, the way I see USD CAD right now, that's a very confident break of structure. And this is what I'm talking about when price breaks through a level and has a lot of distance and strength behind it as well. So it's not kind of just like a half-hearted break. Price really, really does push through this level. So I know that if we pull back onto this, there's a good probability we're going to reject it and continue. There's just a simple impulse correction continuation. So the way I see USD CAD right now is that we're likely to see a bit more upside for this one, and then I'll see what happens at 1.33, and possibly can get some bigger sells later down the road. But it looks like this bearish structure for USD CAD has met its match. Had a really nice run here, lower lows and lower highs, but that has run out of steam. It looks like a sharp break of structure, pullback, continuation to the upside. Really nice, trend reversal here. bunch of lower lows, lower highs, break of structure, high low, anticipating the push to the next key level, which I've got at 1.33. So right now, USD CAD, the way I see it, is kind of trading between two key areas. I wouldn't say there's much to do right now, but if we can pull back onto this level here or push into that level, we can start monitoring for some buys and some sells. But right now, middle of nowhere. So yeah, I do like the price action for USD CAD. Nice sharp reversal, but not really trading at anywhere useful for me anyway. Okay, so USD yen we'll get onto as well. What time frame do I enter on? I enter on the hourly time frame. I use 4H for my directional bias, but I do enter on the hourly time frame. JPY pairs are looking scary. Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny because they're starting to look a little bit bearish, which is enticing people to sell. But you know, you've seen what the JPY pairs have done over the past month or so, which has been, you know, forcefully driving to the upside across all time frames, breaking through major levels, trading into territory which you haven't traded in for years. So the JPY pairs have been very, very, very bullish. So taking shorts against them is going to be aggressive. Not that the trade can't play out, it's just an aggressive. You can still catch a nice short on pound yen, still make some decent pips and call it a day. But in terms of probability, it's just a little bit aggressive since what the higher time frames are doing. And that's probably why it's scary. And again, I'm not looking to short the pound yen, short the yen pairs just yet. A lot of them for me is still just way too bullish. So I'm actually still kind of waiting for any good buy setups I can see. But sells are a bit way away for me. I'm doing good, Candy. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. CAD yen, pound yen analysis. Okay, we'll take a look. ANS break even on Euro USD. Oh, did they come back and tag you out of the trade? Where's Euro? There you are. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Sometimes we break even. I mean, I'll probably take a break even on dollar Swiss to be honest. So I'll probably be right there with you for break even. But yeah, I mean, the market was kind of ranging, so it was either 50-50s. Either the market's going to get that momentum, break the downside, continue your continuation to the downside, take out those lows, or it's going to break to the upside. It was kind of, you know, when it's moving sideways, the momentum's depleted, it gets 50-50. But in terms of the entry, you know, solid entry, stop loss in a solid place as well. But yeah, sometimes it will be break even, sometimes it will be win, sometimes it will be losers. As long as you manage your trade correctly, you're consistent with your plan, you know exactly what you're doing, then all you have to do is just ride that sequence, which is the most difficult part of trading. Most difficult part in trading. You know, riding that sequence, because it's uncertain. You know, you might lose your next trade, you might win your next trade. You have no idea. Doesn't matter how good the setup is or how confident you are about the trade opportunity, you could still lose it. And that's just a difficult pill for people to swallow. But a necessary one to do so. Okay, so yeah, USD, CAD yen, Euro yen. We'll take a look at. We'll go through some yen pairs actually. We'll go through some yen crosses, see what's cooking with those markets. I'll go for USD first though. So any trades now? I'm not looking at any entries at the moment. I'll go through my watch list in a second as well. After go through some yen pairs, I'll go through my watch list. There's some good opportunities that are actually coming into play, but I feel like since today's Thursday, I don't feel like maybe some news could spice things up, but I don't think like they will probably form until next week. But I'll keep an eye on it. I'll show you guys in a moment. But yeah, I'm not looking at entering anything right now. Enters NAS at 14,941.78 holding. Okay, I suppose those are buys for NAS then. What's your targets, Liam? How far are you looking to push the trade? Money Stacks, what is up? Good morning, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Longs on pound NSD since 2.07. Okay, nice. Yeah, I was looking at some longs as well for pound NSD coming into the week. I didn't trade pound NSD, I traded NSD USD instead. Still taking advantage of that New Zealand weakness. But yeah, nice move to the upside, targeting 2.076. Okay, we'll take a look at pound NSD as well. Ross, what is up? Thank you once again for your valuable insights as always. No problem. Today I attempted to utilize your approach to identify pairs that may be forming a third leg, but I couldn't find any. Perhaps observational skills aren't as finely tuned as yours. Could you please show me if there are any pairs that are currently in a third leg and that you're considering taking? Yes, I mean, when I go through my watch list, I'll go through some yen pairs and a couple of pairs people have requested. But yeah, I'll go through. I think there's probably 2 or 3 that look like they could potentially form a third leg. But yeah, it's a good question though. Good question. And again, it's a good understanding as well, because when you are looking for something in the market, you can only look as far as you can see. And if you haven't been looking at it for a long time, you're going to be a little bit slower than someone who has looked at it for a long time. And, rightly so, I've been in that position before as well. But the more you practice it, the more it becomes habitual, and you see it not everywhere, because it doesn't happen all the time everywhere. But when it's there, you can recognize it and identify if it's a good trade or not. But yeah, let me go through USD. I'll take a look at USD and pound NSD, then I'll go through some yen pairs, and I'll take a look at my watch list. Okay, so USD price. Actually, no, this is actually one of them. This is actually one of the pairs that's on my watch list for the third leg. So yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone here. But yeah, USD, impressive move to the upside. I took a loss on this one a couple weeks back over here. I was looking for a lower high of the market to roll. It just consolidated and broke to the upside, took my stop loss. Since then, the market has pushed the upside, broke structure on the left, create higher highs, pull back, retest of this structure just about, and then use that to push the upside. So we've had basically a really nice reversal here, and then the market is now bullish. So what I'm looking at for USD is simply a pullback for this one to get that next higher low, which will be the third higher low. 1, 2, and then 3, and we've got a lovely level of resistance here. We could be looking for that in. And obviously connecting the higher lows, you've got a nice trendline confluence coming to that level, and probably a nice fib confluence there too, coming to the 50 or maybe the 0.618. But yeah, for me, 1.78 is looking like a really good area to long, and this is a pair on my watch list which I'm looking to get involved with. But like I said earlier, I'm not too sure if it will formalize this week. Maybe some euro news could spice things up, but it's a bit of a big ask to drop into this area, so maybe it might set up early next week, or we'll see. I'll stay alert. But yeah, USD, I'm looking at upside. We've got targets back into the prior high over here on the left. We haven't reached there yet, so this could be a nice little TP, or even just the high there. It doesn't have to be too aggressive. I mean, they're pretty much in the same place, to be fair. But looking at 1.81, 1.8 back to the highs there, and looking for that next higher low. So the way I see USD mapping out, we still got that bullish trend in the higher time frames. Drop into the low time frames. We've seen the 4H now look bullish as well. So we're seeing the bullish high time frames backed by the 4H and the low time frames as well. We'll get good momentum again to the upside. So a simple correction back to this area, 1.78, is looking like a really pristine opportunity to go long and take advantage of maybe one final push back to the highs, and we'll see what happens next. So yeah, USD, I really do like the structure, and a pair that is on the watch list. Pound NZD, nice push to the upside this week as well. Had a really nice breaking retest of this level. It did fake the level originally, but did get back above. So there would have been a nice entry on the break back above this level. Nice push to the upside, which is one of the pairs that I was looking at this week. And now, yeah, we could possibly see some more correction to the downside before continuation. So pound NZD, I'm still pretty bullish on. I'm looking at 2.09 as my longer term target, which is this level here, 2.1, we'll call it actually. Back into that weekly resistance, not too far away. So for me, it still looks like we've got a bit more upside to be had. Yeah, might see another pullback again. Before the continuation. Start, continue with these higher lows. as long as we can maintain structure. For me, it looks like price is likely to continue. We may not see a test of the trend line. It may just be a test of the resistance, turn support here, and then get the next continuation to the upside. But yeah, pound NZD, USD are very correlated pairs, and at the moment they're both giving me good bullish structure with a very impressive last bullish leg to the upside. So pound NZD expecting upside 2.1, USD expecting upside 1.805, 1.81. But on the watch list, I would have to favor USD. It looks a bit tidier than pound NZD. It's a bit more corrective. And I've got a bit more space to work with as well for USD. But I'll probably keep my eye on both of them. So yeah, I'll go through some yen pairs and I'll take a look at my watch list in detail. So yeah, Euro yen. This one still looks like a good long opportunity in Euro yen. We're still getting higher highs and higher lows, so I still do like the buys here with Euro yen. Some other yen pairs look like they might be taking a breather, so the buys don't look as good at the moment. But Euro yen is still one of the yen pairs which is ticking the boxes for me. Really nice higher lows as we can evidently see. We're looking for the next one. Lovely broken resistance, broke out. Haven't got the retest of it as well. Market is still kind of consolidating right now as well. So let's see if we can run the lows here to the downside. Into our area of value and then get the next continuation to the upside. So this one might be a better one on the lower time frame because I think hourly might not give a good risk reward since the highs are pretty much just back over here. So you're probably looking at 1 to 2 at best maybe. So maybe lower time frame can push that a little bit higher, but of course that'll be up to you. But in terms of direction and the setup, Euro yen still looking very, very bullish to me. Higher highs, higher lows. So high, 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 low, low, low. And expecting another drive to the upside. And we've got some nice lows there that could look to run before we get a bigger move. So yeah, as things stand for Euro yen, bullish, 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 expecting more upside. As to where we could utilize the psychological levels as targets, 159, or you can utilize the lower time frame level. But if you want to push the trade, again, there's no clear-cut target, so you're probably utilizing psychological levels if you want to, or 158,500 as well. But that's up to you. But yeah, Euro yen for me, still pretty bullish on. Pound yen, like I said as well, looks like we are starting to break shots to the downside, so we might see a deeper pullback. So I would say if we can break through that low there, break and retest could provide some nice shorts. Again, for me, I'm not really a fan of selling the yen pairs at the moment. I'm still kind of only bullish on them. But we might see a deeper correction before a bigger continuation. Dollar yen still kind of sluggishly moving to the upside as well. So for me, it still looks very bullish, but not bullish enough for a trade, if that makes sense. It's just very, very choppy. Not really good market conditions to trade. If you want to see some clean, impulsive moves, correction, another clean impulsive move, here it's kind of mixed into one, so it's not kind of clear. So dollar yen, I'm not seeing much on this one. In terms of direction, it's still very, very bullish. In terms of targets for the higher time frames, probably looking at a push into 150 longer term. So I think there's still a lot more upside for dollar yen to be had. But in terms of getting into a trade, you might want to wait for price to break structure first, pull back, maybe test some stronger areas down here, then get some better opportunities to swing it up again. CGFJY is quite choppy as well. CAD yen, I'll take a look. Someone requested that one. CAD yen, yeah, it's just a little bit too choppy right now. They look like they're just having a slightly bigger retracement than usual. They might head down a little bit, but they all still look very, very, very bullish. Okay, CAD yen is coming back into a key resistance, so we might be seeing some profit taken now for CAD yen, but at the same time, it's just way too aggressive to take any sells. If CAD yen can start breaking structure heavily to the downside and start creating some lower lows and lower highs from this area, I will consider some shorts. So we start doing this, and then yeah, I will consider getting into some shorts, but only if I see this sort of development. And the only reason why I would do that is because CAD yen is coming to a very key level of resistance. The other yen pairs aren't. So yeah, CAD yen could present maybe some shorts later on, but I need a lot before I actually consider that. So yeah, I hope that made sense for the yen pairs. I'll go take a look at my watch list now. I'm shorting JPY on Friday when they make the wick for the monthly and the weekly. Okay, that's an interesting concept. I suppose we'll probably might see some retracement for the candlesticks for the high time frames. Yeah, I've never really looked into that, to be fair. Me personally, trying to short it right at the end of the month or buy, depending if the market's fallen or not, because we anticipate a bigger pullback. Never really done that before. But yeah, have you done that before, Sergio, or you're testing out now? Because yeah, I've never done anything like that before. But if you have, let me know. Did you cover EuroCAD? Yes, I did cover EuroCAD. If you go back maybe 10-15 minutes, you probably see it. NZD-CAD, yes, I almost forgot about that one. We'll take a look at NZD-CAD. William, what's up? Look, UNSD is very bullish. Push with the NZD about 2 weeks ago, 618 fibs and TP. Are you currently in UNSD buys? But yeah, I do agree 100%. UNSD is looking very, very bullish. So for me, I'm expecting more upside back to 1.80500, which is pretty much this high here. So yeah, I mean, yeah, looking very, very bullish. Clean structure as well. Good higher highs and higher lows. We're seeing good momentum too. Lovely impulse move to the upside. So yeah, I just want to see a correction, a retest of some support, and then I'm looking at continuation back up to 1.8. Or probably just back to the high there. Depends on the risk reward. Could push it into this high. Okay, so I'll go for my watch list and I'll take a look at NZD-CAD. Next, EUR/USD as well. Yeah, I'm in a bull mode at the moment till I see a hard change in trend, but NAS has no loyalty, so we shall see. Okay, yeah, of course it has no loyalties. Okay, so are you trading a stop loss then? So you're just going to trail the trade? But yeah, rightly so. I mean, NAS, higher time frames, monthly, weekly, daily, as we identified, is still looking pretty bullish, still seeing a lot of drive to the upside. So I definitely do second to what you say there. But yeah, of course, NAS does have no loyalty, so things can change very, very quickly. But I think we've got a good chance of getting back to the highs on the 4H. Bearish pennant, Aussie Swiss. Okay, we'll take a look. Could you look Sahel, Turkey stock market? Okay. I've never looked at that before, but first time for everything. AUSD, Derek, okay, we'll add that to the list too. Great design, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Nike silver, you always request silver. Nike, do you trade silver a lot? Because probably out of the last maybe 5 times people requested silver on the stream, you've probably been 4 out of the 5. But yeah, of course, we'll take a look at silver. Yep, UAD we'll take a look at as well. I took a position on UJ, looked and long entry. Also had look long entry at 19. Yeah, I was gonna say 19. Do you mean NAS? Because yeah, dollar yen is not trading at 140, 14k. Because that would be crazy if that was. But anyway, let me go take a look at some on my watch list. So yeah, USD's on my watch list. This is one of the pairs I'm looking to trade. Again, like I said, I doubt we'll probably get an entry for this one this week. Might do. I'll keep an eye out for it, but it's probably a next week trade. But again, Ross, answering your question, you know, this is a nice textbook setup of giving us that third higher low. So we've got one down there, second one there, and looking at the third one there to the upside. Euro USD, I'm keeping an eye on this one. It's on the watch list because I think there's a good trade behind it, but there is no current setup right now. If Euro USD does break to the downside, then I think there's some really, really good quality shorts to be had. Again, giving us this third lower high. So we've got one over there, second one over there, trying to catch the third one over there. So this is the opportunity I'll be looking at. And same thing to the upside as well. If I delete this all the way, you know, if we start breaking to the upside, then the next pullback will be looking good as well. And we again got off 3 higher lows, 1, 2, 3. Nice little break and retest of some resistance could give us some really nice buys. as well. So I'm quite versatile with Euro USD in terms of which direction we can go. I can see some good buys and I can see some good sells. So it's on the watch list from that aspect. But yeah, again, I doubt we'll see the move I'm looking for until next week as well. So most of my pairs on my watch list are for next week. Thank you so much, King, for subscribing. If you guys are enjoying the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Really does help out the channel. If you're finding it useful, show some love, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell. It does help out the channel a lot. And thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed so far as well. But yeah, Euro USD looking good. Potentially could give some entries as well later. NZD USD, another pair, which is looking good. Obviously, nice trade to the downside this week, but I think there's some opportunities to get back in. Because again, the long-term bias, we're still looking at NZD USD possibly heading back down to these lows here. So the way it looks to me that NZD USD has got a lot of mileage left in the tank. If my high time frame bias is correct. So for me, NZD USD, the next major target is this prior low down here, trading at 0.6 or just underneath 0.6. So for NZD, I'm still looking at another pullback, see if we can get another lower high and then get the next drop to the downside. Again, still giving us these lower highs, 1, 2, and 3. And of course, this move here really picked up momentum to the downside, so it's looking very, very tasty indeed. So a pullback for NZD, retesting some structure. We've got a lovely support broken through there. No retest of that level yet as well. So looking to see if I can get back into NZD and take advantage of another short. Retest this level here. Targets, we could be looking at, this low here. You can look at the prior low if you don't want to hold it too long. Or you've got that low there as well. But the idea still remains the same. We're looking at catching that next lower high for the next drop to the downside. Longer term goal 0.6 and longer term goal 0.556. So NZD is on the watch list as well. And yeah, that's about it for now. NZD, I mean, gold's on the watch list, but again, this is definitely for next week. I'm looking for the opportunity up here, so I doubt we'll see that this week unless something crazy happens. So yeah, it's mainly I'm looking at Euro NZD. I'm keeping an eye on Pound NZD, but Euro NZD, Pound NZD are very similar to me, so I'm just going to look at Euro NZD most of the time. NZD USD and where's another pair? Completely forgot. Yeah, I think it's just that as USD, Euro NZD, Pound NZD, gold sort of, and Euro USD. Completely forgot. There we go. And Euro USD, but again, Euro USD is probably for next week as well. So yeah, those are the pairs of my watches at the moment. Again, I'm not really looking at any entries at the moment. They're still pretty far away. Maybe something could happen by Friday, but I doubt it. Some other pairs could look good. Euro pound, if that pushes a little bit further, I may look to add that to the watch list as well. Maybe some yen pairs I'll look at if they can give me some bigger moves, but I'm not really looking to buy the yen pairs. A little bit too high up for me. And yeah, nothing else is quite doing it for me. Pound AUD is just a little bit weird. Euro Swiss a little bit weird. I mean, some Swiss pairs could be looking good for some shorts soon, like CAD CHF. If that can start breaking out consolidation to the downside, I think there could be a really nice reversal for this one. Of course, back down to the prior lows. Euro Swiss as well, it is not bad on the daily time frame. If you can get to this area here, that could probably give a nice opportunity. But yeah, those are all theoretical. Only if we see those moves, then I'll add it to my watch list. But yeah, those are the pairs I'm looking at, and again, looking at those 3/4 lower highs when we've got the trend, just kind of reversed and starting to establish itself. Anyway, let me take a look at some of the pairs you guys have recommended. AUSD, I will take a look at that. Where am I? NZD CAD. Okay, let me look at NZD CAD before I forget. NZD CAD, AUSD, Euro AD, we'll take a look as well. My TP1 was here. I'm now trading stops, and hopefully TP2 set at 15.04193 as I swing, but I'm currently still in profit. Fingers crossed and stay in my plan. Of course, that's all we can do. Fingers crossed and make sure that you stay trading your plan Plan what you trade and trade what you plan. Is it plan your trade and trade your plan? Yeah, plan your trade and trade your plan. Yeah, that's all you can do at the end of the day. Fingers crossed that price goes in your direction. And if it doesn't, make sure you just swallow the pill and stick to it. But yeah, as things stands with NAS, as I looked at it, higher time frames look good, 4H looks good, hourly looks good. So yeah, I would favor more upside, but of course anything can happen, which is why you've got your trading stop loss in the first place to assure that if price does change direction, we're not in trouble. Yeah, I'm in a bull mode at the moment, or yeah, of course. Bearish pennant, okay, we'll take a look. Oh, actually, get deleted from the chat. Yes, it did. Okay, we're not gonna look at Aussie Swiss anymore. 80 CAD looking good for sales. Yeah, 80 CAD absolutely dropped to the downside last week and coming into this week as well. But yeah, for me, 80 CAD, I'm still quite heavily bearish on the higher time frames. I still see a lot more downside for 80 CAD. So personally, for me, I'm still looking at shorts for 80 CAD as well. I don't think I have a particular opportunity which I've got in mind though. I think I still need to see some development and some structure being created before I look to short anything. But we'll take a look at 80 CAD. So I mean Euro JPY, my bad. Oh, okay, Euro JPY, okay. Yeah, Euro JPY is still looking bullish. I'm expecting that one to continue as well. But I do think we can retrace a little bit lower first before we continue. United States of America versus all others. USD, TRY, okay, we'll take a look. UAD as well. Okay, so let me go take a look at NZD CAD first, because that was requested a while ago. Where is NZD CAD? There you are. Okay, so NZD CAD still kind of trends to the downside. Again, high time frame still pretty bearish as well. So yeah, the verdict for me is still more downside. Still more downside. Buys are still very, very aggressive. So I'm only looking at selling opportunities. Coming into the week, we were talking about the consolidation we had over here, which actually played out very, very well. As you can see, we had a really nice downtrend. It was quite corrective. Nice break of structure, clearing out that consolidation. We're favoring price to come back into the lows here on the left. But first, we said we can probably get a nice retest of the consolidation. Lovely wick into that level. Nice sell off to the downside, taking out those lows. So NZD CAD it's kind of done its job. It's taken out the lows there. So I would kind of hold back on shorts, even though everything is still looking pretty bearish. We're still seeing consistent lower highs here. So from a directional perspective, I still do favor shorts. We've got broken support here. We could retest this and go further as well. But since price has just pierced the low here, I think it's a tad bit aggressive to be looking for any sells at the moment at 0.89, because we've just grabbed liquidity underneath this low here, which could give us a bigger retracement for another bigger move back down again. So taking that first kind of short just after a break of a significant low, for me, I don't necessarily like taking it. Sometimes I do if I can get some really good strong confluence and the entries look good, but I think with this one so close to the level anyway, there's not a lot of breathing room. It's not like we can get the pullback and then maybe get stop loss to break even pretty quickly. You're going to be looking at a very small risk reward as well. So yeah, NZD CAD, I do favor downside. This support level could give us some move to the downside here, but I just don't favor the quality of the setup just because of where we're trading, just piercing that prior low. So for me, the pullbacks don't look very, very good at all. I favor more downside based on the higher time frames, but in terms of the quality of the setup, it's quite poor because of the location of it. Whereas if you compare it to USD, you can still favor price to push back into the highs. We haven't quite made it yet, so we still have a reason to head higher. And if we do get that pullback into this area, we can manage our trade, get to break even, take partials if you want to, before we even get there. So there's a lot of room to work with, and possibly you can even push it further if you want to catch a breakout potentially. But with NZD CAD, we'll kind of right up against the levels, so it's just a weird place, awkward place to take a trade, in my opinion. But yeah, I do have a bearish bias. So from an analytical point of view, I do expect downside. From a trading point of view, it might not be the best trade to take. So that's kind of my verdict on NZD CAD. Euro AUD, Euro NZD's partner in crime. So Euro AUD, this one has been quite bullish as well. I was looking at sales coming into the week for this one. And yeah, price never really materialized a good entry for me. It broke through that area of confluence, and now this area is actually going to be acting as a good level of support. Was resistance briefly, but now if you can hold this area, I do favor some more downside. So some more upside. Sorry. So if you can see some pullbacks, it looks like UAD could be looking to fight back to the highs again, 1.675, and kind of continue what USD doing as well. But yeah, I have to say I'm definitely not looking for sells anymore. After price broke through the structure here, that completely invalidates the setup for me. And yeah, I can only favor upside now. So UAUD, we're kind of trading with resistance, struggling to break through. But once that breaks, I think the floodgates will probably open and we'll probably start pushing to 1.675. So keep an eye on 1.64. It looks like a very nice level to buy from. As you can see, resistance there, support there. This will now be acting as support as well. Briefly resistance there too. So if you get some good rejection down there, I see that as a good buy, a really good buy. Stop loss underneath, and risk reward is pretty attractive as well if you want to push back to the highs at 1.67. So yeah, UAD for me, I have to favor buys as well. Market structures is quite similar to USD as well. Of late, we've seen some really good, healthy bullish trend, bullish momentum, and simply looking for that to continue. And longer term goal, we can be looking at the highs here, 1.675, back into the daily, weekly highs as well. But out of the two, I definitely do prefer USD as a setup to trade. Okay, so we'll take a look at AUD USD, silver. We'll take a look as well. We'll take a look at the Turkish stock market. Okay, so Liam, yeah, USJPY 151.726 trading stop in place. Okay, we'll take a look. Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of USJPY. It's quite choppy, as I discussed earlier. It was quite choppy. Looks very corrective. So even though it's a very bullish market, looking at it from top down perspective, on the 4H hourly, it's showing a lot of signs of exhaustion. So we might be looking at a bigger retracement. But we'll take a look. Sergio, yes, done in the past. The candles need to retrace before closing the week. When the new week starts going back up, unless a reverse happens, pay attention to yen major moves on Friday every time. Okay, I will take a look actually, because I've heard of people doing that before as well, and it does make a lot of sense to it, because typically, if you have seen a big candle, a lot of momentum, typically if you look across all time frames, before the candle does close, it normally does pull back and creates those wicks. The averages, of every candle, there's a wick to the upside and most likely a wick to the downside as well. So it depends how far the market obviously will create that wick. And yeah, it's got the rest of Thursday and Friday to create it if it wants to. So yeah, from a probability standpoint, it does make a lot of sense. But of course, like I said, I've never done it before personally. So I will pay attention to it, see what happens. Because the yen pairs have pushed. So we've got some big candles on the higher time frames. Rory, what are you looking for on the H1 to tell yourself you're ready to execute, like candlestick patterns, etc.? Yeah, I do have a video on that actually, Rory. I do have a video on that about entries. What's the video title again? Powerful entry technique, I think it is. If you go through my Forex education playlist on my channel, you'll see the video, maybe a few videos down. But essentially, yes, I'm looking for rejection and momentum. So rejection in the form of wicks, and momentum in the form of bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, basic candlestick patterns, candlestick closures. So those are the two things I'm keeping my eye on for my entries. But yeah, theoretically, I'm looking at just candlestick patterns showing good rejection at price is failing to break through a certain point. And the momentum saying that, okay, the bearish momentum is now bullish, or the bullish momentum is now bearish. Now it's time for me to execute on a trade. Angus and GU from the break and retest on the 50-minute flag. Okay, on the 50-minute flag. Okay, we'll take a look at pound USD the 15 then. Yeah, but AUD CAD we'll take a look as well. USD TRY. How to understand trend is finished in the market reverse. I just use primarily structure for that. So, simply if the market is creating higher highs and higher lows, and then it starts to doing this, then for me that's classed as a reversal. We've broken through structure, and now we're creating successive lower highs. So I would deem that as a reversal. Again, everything is probabilities. So when we're talking trading and talking Forex or trading in general, everything is probability, nothing is certainty. So you won't ever know if the market has truly reversed or it's just having a bigger pullback. Everything is theoretical and based on probabilities. You can say with good certainty, with maybe 60, 70, 80% certainty, that okay, we likely are having a reversal now. So therefore I'm looking at trading the opposite way. But there's obviously that 20% chance or whatever percent chance that the market is not reversing. It's just having a bigger pullback and it's still going to continue the trend. So make sure you do view the market in terms of probability, because that's all it is. So it can be quite a slippery slope trying to find out if the market is reversing or the market is pulling back, because there's so many ways to do the exact same thing, and they all just give you good probabilities that the market is going to reverse or it's just having a pullback. So my advice would be just monitor structure, the highs and lows of the market. And if you see the market starting to violate that pattern, then and start creating some lower highs after it, then yeah, we can signify, okay, the market is reversing. Let's look for sells and expect the market to continue until that structure breaks as well, and vice versa. So yeah, that's why I look for reversals and how I signify pullbacks. And also I look at characteristics as well in terms of momentum and how corrective price is. If it's very, very corrective, statistically speaking, 60% of the time, that's normally just correction. If it's very impulsive, we're seeing a lot of big candles driving in one particular direction, the market is still flowing in that trend, so expect it to continue. But again, it is all probability. Okay, so we'll take a look at what pair? AUSD, that was requested a few times, so I'll take a look at that one. And Aussie Swiss as well. Okay, since we're on the AU right now. Okay, so AUSD, this was a pair that I was looking to trade this week, but the opportunity I was looking at never quite materialized. I said I was looking for some shorts and a retest of this level, didn't quite materialize. We placed the lower high below that and dropped to the downside. So the idea of the trade was is still pretty clear, looking for a pushback down to the low, the consolidation, which was very, very close to. So in my book, we still got a bit more downside. We still got a bit more downside to be had with AU. I'm still looking at a push into 0.65800 and the completion of that of the range, because again we had the fake out to the downside, completion of the range to the upside, fake out there, completion of the range back to the downside. So very, very simple price action, kind of just trading from the range there. And we do have a quite nice bearish trend here on the 4H, which you can take advantage of. Again, still kind of trading within the ranging market, but for the short term, taking advantage of that momentum too. So it's not a bad opportunity. Still seeing consecutive lower highs, as we can see. But obviously, I would suggest making sure that you want to be managing your trade coming back into this low, because the chances are we could bounce again. Or maybe breakthrough. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, AUSD for me is still definitely bearish, at least back into the low of the consolidation, and then we can review things and see what can happen next. Maybe we look at another bounce, or maybe we look at a breakout. But yeah, we had a big fake out to the upside. Market came back underneath, fell to break back above, big push to the downside, lower high, expecting another one to form. For a final push back into the lows of the consolidation, and then we'll see what we can get next. But yeah, AU bearish, 0.667 is looking like a 667 is looking pretty good for a place to sell, and 0.658 is looking like a pretty good place for a TP, or even just back to the prior low. That'll be up to you. So yeah, AUSD bearish. Let's take a look at the Turkish stock market. What's it called? SAHOL. I'm not sure which one to click. I assume this one that said stock. Okay, interesting. first time looking at the Turkish stock market. Well, pretty much looks like any stock market, to be fair, going up. But okay, so we're at a very, very critical price here. Very, very critical price here. We have seen some higher highs, but essentially haven't really broken through it yet. Kind of gapped up to come down. Weird price action. But yeah, price is just at a very key level of resistance right now. Possibly could be looking at a fake out for the market to come lower. Again, the way I see this is just the ranging market as well. It's kind of like we've had this humongous impulse for potentially a big correction, which could potentially give another big impulse, or maybe not reversal, but maybe a bigger retracement. We could have a big impulse like so, consolidation, drop to the downside to go higher. So the market could also do that as well. But yeah, I'm just seeing this as a ranging market. So the best thing to do is looking to sell high and buy low. If you're looking to trade from the range, this is not a bad place to do it. If you do creep back below 46, essentially what you're looking at is some rejection underneath this level and then some downside. Stop loss above the high or above that high if you want to be a bit safer. And targets, you can work with some of the levels around here. There's a nice gap along with that resistance there as well. Support there too. Doesn't necessarily have to be all the way down to the low of the consolidation. But yeah, for me, this one's just pure consolidation. So the best way to trade it with any consolidation is looking to short high and buy low. It looks like we just had a fake out. So it does add a bit of confidence to the setup as well if we can start rejecting as resistance too. Because anyone who got into the trade a little bit early would have been liquidated with this move to the upside. And now the sales become a little bit better as well. But yeah, I'm not really seeing much trend to it apart from the bigger picture. Obviously still very bullish. But as of late, we've been moving sideways. So you can probably catch some nice sales around 46. Not really my type of trade. But if you are looking for opportunity, that's probably the best I can see right now. And yeah, we'll see how far that move can go. But yeah, definitely haven't never looked at Turkish stock before. Okay, so Aussie Swiss we'll take a look at. Okay, Aussie CAD as well. We'll take a look at as well. Forgot about that one. And pound USD, Mighty King, no problem. Happy to help. Pound AUD, sure, we'll take a look, no problem. GU pullback for high time frame short, looking good. And yeah, I just did NZD CAD, Henry. If you go back a few minutes, you'll see it. Yeah, and of course, they spam the chat either. But yeah, I did NZD CAD a few minutes ago. Thank you so much. No problem. Happy to help. Anyway, I'll take a look at AD CAD and Silver, AD CAD, Aussie Swiss as well. Some AD pairs. Okay, so AD CAD. So yeah, AD CAD, a very, very, very impressive move to the downside, clearing out some important lows. So I do suspect we can move it back down to this low eventually, 0.86100. So the way I see it for AD CAD is that the market is just still continuing with this bearish trend. Even though it's been very, very sluggish, the market's just been continuing, which is very impressive. But yeah, this is still the main target for AD CAD. Ever since we failed to break through this, because I was anticipating the market to break through this resistance, but it didn't. It broke heavily, and now it's cleared that low. This low here is very, very likely to be reached next. So what I'm looking at is pullbacks for AD CAD and some more downside to this low. And now, like I said earlier, I'm not too sure in particular where I'm looking to sell AD CAD, because there's no kind of level that pops out to me other than probably this big level of support here. But it's quite a big ask looking for the market to retrace all the way up there to come back down again. It could happen because, again, it is a choppy trend. We are seeing quite steep pullbacks, so it's not the most outlandish statement in the world, that pullback there. It definitely is a possibility. But apart from that, I'm not really seeing another good level to short from. I suppose people will be looking at this low here. But like I said, it's just not a big enough breakout for me to consider looking for a breaking retest. I need price to really, really push through this level for me to consider looking for a retest of that. Sort of what happened with NZD CAD. As you can see, we had this significant low here. Price really pushed away from it, and we had a really nice retest of it, and then the continuation. So this became a decent place to short from on the retest of that structure because we had a really big pull away. So this level becomes a lot, it gives us a better chance that it will reject the level. But AUD CAD is only broken it by a very minimal distance, so I'm not sold on that breaking retest just yet. If we do push away, that will become a lot better. But at the moment, this is the only suitable level I personally could look to short from. That would give me a good trade in accordance to my plan. Which again, number one, not going to happen this week. Number two, it may not happen at all. So I will keep an eye on AUD CAD because probability of price coming back down to the low is still pretty high. But we're going to have to be patient and wait for a good opportunity to set up and to take advantage of it. But yeah, in terms of direction, in terms of the analysis, I'm expecting 0.86. We got really good high time frame synchronicity. Everything is looking in line. We're seeing good momentum as well. Very impressive drive to the downside. So as things stands, the probability of us heading lower is very high with AUD CAD. But in terms of the opportunity to actually trade it, which is what we're looking for as traders, for myself anyway, it is not quite there. So I'll be patient from that aspect. But yeah, I'm looking at more downside for Aussie CAD. Aussie CHF, similar thing to AUD CAD as well. Very impressive move to the downside. I'm still expecting more downside for this one. Again, Aussie Swiss, if I scoot to the weekly time frame, looking essentially for us to eventually come back to these COVID lows, to go violate these COVID lows. That's still the end goal for Aussie Swiss. So we go to the monthly time frame. You can see this one's been trending to the downside since pretty much the beginning of time. So the probability of us coming back down to these wick lows here is still extremely high, because for the market to reverse is essentially the first time it's done that. So in terms of probability, we got a high chance we're still going lower. So I'm looking at shorts all the way back down to 0.853. Now I'm not looking at shorting it all the way down there, of course not, but I'm looking at just sells until we get there essentially. So I'm waiting for a good opportunity, which again, no clear levels popping out to me, no clear setup really. We've kind of done this weird retracement where we've pushed, pull back, push, pull back. It's kind of like a very kind of expanded version, if you will, of a bear flag. It's kind of like a bear flag, but it's just a really weird looking one, which kind of difficult to spot and trade really. But yeah, I'm expecting price to return to this support level, and I wouldn't say that's the next target, but yeah, there's no kind of real other target. Maybe you can look at this low here, but yeah, there's no kind of real clear targets to aim for. I mean, this low kind of lines up with the low already at anyway. But yeah, on the lower time frames, AUD CAD, AUD CHF, might be a decent little retest here to go short. Again, probably looking at maybe 30-minute for entries there to maximize risk rewards. But yeah, the market's still creating all these lower highs, so I've got to be bearish with this one. So yeah, I think Aussie pairs, I'm pretty bearish in general. AUD/USD, AUD CAD, Aussie Swiss, AJ probably no. Pound AUD, we'll take a look at pound AUD. That one's been looking quite bullish, so negative on Aussie. UAD I'm quite bullish as well, negative on Aussie. So yeah, I'm pretty weak on Aussie as a whole. And again, that's nothing to do with fundamentals. That's purely just looking at the technicals and which way the market is pointing. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound AUD because that was requested a while ago. I'll look at silver as well. Okay, where are we? USD TRY, we'll take a look too. Okay, no problem, happy to help. I really enjoy being on this live. Later on, I'll be streaming Nick with fundamentals. When are you showing up with Nick? Yeah, I'll be live with Nick today as well. I'm a guest on his stream, so I'll be live from like 1:45 UK time. So yeah, when he streams, I'll be on at some point during there. So yeah, look forward to seeing you on the stream as well. And that goes to everyone else if you want to see more of the stream as well, because this stream will end in roughly 10 minutes. But I will be live again with Trading Nick as well later today. So if you guys got some time, you want to see a bit more analysis, see what happens with news later today as well, feel free to stick around over on Nick's channel, and we'll discuss everything markets. Universal, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Angus, do you trade most pairs or do you just stick with a certain few? No, I do trade most pairs. I trade major and minor pairs pretty much. Sometimes I will dabble in gold and sometimes I'll dabble in some exotics as well. Like USD peso, USD ZAR, but my bread and butter is major and minor FX pairs, which is like 26 pairs, I think. Okay, so I'll take a look at silver, then we'll move on to USD TRY. Okay, so silver. There you are. No, there you are. Okay, so silver, yeah, it had some nice downside. Not too long ago. It's kind of giving some bullish price action on the higher time frames here. It's kind of like in a weird place right now, because if you look at the price action, we've got the low, we've got the high, we've got the low, we've got the high, potentially new low. But at the same time, if you focus on this price action here, you know, we've got a high, high, low, high, low. You know, are we going to form another lower high to drop, or are we forming a low to push? And the odds are it's quite 50-50, because there's no kind of overall direction I've got with silver. It's kind of just a weird consolidation. You know, I could probably favor a certain direction depending on the higher time frames. Let's say that the market was very bullish in the higher time frames, therefore I would favor this being a higher low. But at the same time, you know, if you look at the bigger picture, yes, we've had this big impulse, it hasn't really amounted to much. At the same time, we've got these major lower highs there too, so the sells make sense. So for silver, for me, it's kind of just in a weird place right now, and I'm not too sure which direction I favor, which again is just a red flag. It's not that it's not a good opportunity. It's that, you know, I can't favor a certain way to go. So at the same time, you know, the sales do look pretty good here. You know, we've got some good confluence coming to some areas up around here. If you can get a nice break and retest around 23.5, it's not a bad place to short. But at the same time, you got to watch out, because we could just be forming a higher low to push through as well. So nothing's 100%, of course. Even if I did have a clear bias, it wouldn't be 100% either. But at least I would have a clear bias. So yeah, with silver, I'm kind of 50-50. I mean, at the moment, getting some nice bearish structure. We're still seeing good bearish momentum to the downside as well. So, you know, I think I would probably have the favor sells, because it's more immediate than the bullish trend. But I probably wouldn't push the trade as far as this low, because we could definitely double bottom and start reversing as well. So yeah, silver, it's a little bit weird. I do prefer gold at the moment, but if I had to choose, I would favor some sells, but I would be careful, because that higher low could form at any point based on this structure as well. Because again, this big bullish move here is quite impressive, and this looks to be like a bigger correction of that. But we'll see. We will see. And USD TRY, I do not have that on my list. Let's see what's cooking. Oh my word, okay, it's cooking. Damn. That is, yeah, okay. Yeah, this exotic is it's okay. Are you trading this? Are you trading this? Because fair play if you're trading this. The liquidity is weird. Like, obviously you see the volume is very, very low, then boom. I mean, I'm kind of in that low phase right now. So yeah, from an analytical point of view, it's difficult, because there's not much we can look at really, because structure is kind of non-existent. And kind of this is like very fundamentally driven, and you can tell, because there's no technicals backing up apart from the bullish trend. We've got consolidation, then boom, you know, and it's kind of just picking up out of nowhere. So from a technical aspect, I would have to imagine that will probably continue again. and to buy that, to time that right is difficult within itself. So yeah, USDTRY, fair play if you're trading it. You're definitely braver than me. But yeah, I'm not really seeing much for this one. Again, I'm a technical trader, and there's not a lot of technicals to go with apart from just seeing this impulse correction, the impulse correction. So I would favor upside. Yeah, I would favor upside. I mean, that's what it's been doing for a very long time, and it's probably what it's going to keep doing. But yeah, in terms of what we could do to look at to buy this one with confluence, with some good entries, yeah, I'm not really seeing much upon this. There's just not a lot of work to work with here. But in terms of analysis and direction, I would have to favor upside. But yeah, that's about it. The conditions are not very favorable right now. Definitely a very strong uptrend, but yeah, crazy. Okay, so let me finish it off with a couple pairs. Pound AUD, I did say I was going to take a look at that one. And I'll do pound USD as well. I'm going to do oil. I was meant to do oil ages ago, but I'll do oil too. Camera frozen, no. It just ran out of steam right at the end. I need to charge it for next stream. Apologies for that. Yeah, that's a very crazy chart. Very crazy chart. That's a very crazy chart. You would not catch me trading that anytime soon at all. I mean, it's not a bad one just to like buy and invest sort of thing, because you're not really trading technicals with these conditions here. This is not really a technical driven market. There is technicals because obviously there are participants, and technicals is basically just understanding how the participants react to fundamentals and their psychology and where they buy and sell. That's all what technical is. So there are technicals here. It's just very minimal, and the volume just changes so rapidly. So it's just not a good market to trade. It's not a bad one to invest. You know, if you got reasons to invest, expecting the strength of dollar to continue keep going up longer term against the Turkish lira, then you just buy it and keep hold of it basically, or transfer your Turkish lira into dollar. But yeah, I wouldn't trade that though. Anyway, so let me go take a look at this pair. So pound AUD, for this one, starting to fade at the highs here. So again, this could still give you some nice buys, but the price has liquidated the highs there, so it's in a little bit of a sticky area. I did say yesterday if you could hold into this resistance, could get a nice push to the upside. I think we did get that. We did get a nice bounce on this level, nice push to the high, but again, it was always going to be a short-term trade. Never looking for price to do too much, and now we might even break through the support level. So yeah, with pound AUD, I'm still bullish on the pair, but I'm not looking for buys because, like I said, we just banged our head on that resistance there. We've had a big spike through. I'm not seeing good opportunities to buy this one, and we might actually be looking at reversal. If that happens, there could be some nice sells to take advantage of later on. But of course, we need price to start breaking some structure first, start giving us some lower highs. Then yeah, I'll get onto the short side of things. But all I can see right now is that we've got a comfortable bullish trend. It's getting tested by the resistance. It might reverse. If it does, then we can start looking for sells, and buys will look good if we break above the resistance. But any buys down here, it's always gonna be a little bit tricky. Might get some luck on the lower time frames, but you don't want to push the trade too far. Oil still bearish on this one. It's quite choppy, but we are still printing in lower highs, equal highs up there, lower high there too. So looking for another lower high to kind of set itself. I'm not too sure particularly where. This is not a bad place there. It's not the best level in the world, but it might make sense around 71. Again, we're still looking for oil to return back to the lows here around 65. So oil, maybe we can take out some of these weaker lower highs, tap into a good area of confluence, catch the next lower high, equal highs up there, lower, then get the drop to the downside. So oil still bearish for me. High time frame still points to the downside, as we can see. So yeah, confluence synchronicity is still pointing down. So 71, definitely not a bad place to do it. Targets, you can look at 65 or these lows here as well. That's up to you, but I would favor some more downside for oil. And yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of the stream. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream and taking part, interacting with the stream. Obviously, thank you to my moderators as well. Couldn't do it without you guys. If you guys haven't done already, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. I will be later, like I said, I will be live later with Trader Nick on his stream. I will post the link to that stream in the Telegram. So if you're in the Telegram, keep an eye out for it. If you're not in the Telegram, make sure you go jump over and check it out. Links in the description. If you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets pinned to the top of the chat there. So if you are looking for a broker, feel free to check them out using the link if you want to. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming to the stream. If I do get into any other positions, I'll let you know in the Telegram as well. And yeah, I'll let you know in the Telegram. So thank you so much for coming to the stream. I really do appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. I hope to see you guys later. If not, have a good weekend. And I'll catch you all live next week.
What?